Well, we've more now for you on the tributes being paid to the late US Senator Edward Kennedy. Jeff Madrick was a policy consultant and speechwriter for Senator Kennedy and collaborated on his last book, and he's there live for us now in New York. Jeff Madrick, welcome to BBC News. As a friend of Ted Kennedy, what was he like as a person? Was he a troubled man in some ways because of his complicated and indeed his colourful life?
I think, if anything, he was a driven man, driven by his mission. He was a man I think people don't fully understand who was full of life. He really did enjoy life. Everyone talks about it, how much he enjoyed sailing. There's no question about that, but he enjoyed people. He was convivial. He loved to have a good time. I think one thing people don't know much about him is he would do imitations all the time, often of his political foes, but of movie stars and others. He was a very funny man.
You know, one can't help wondering if he was politically always making up for the mistake of Chappaquiddick for the remainder of his public life.
I think, you know, you have to understand the Kennedy background. It was a driven family, and he was the spokesman, I would call him America's main spokesman for the disadvantaged before Chappaquiddick. Chappaquiddick obviously had a strong impact on him. It was a tragedy. I think probably, and I never spoke to him about it, it affected him deeply. Maybe it made him more committed. That's always been the conjecture. But the commitment was always there. I think he was, as I say, and I hope I get this point across clearly, he was the person who protected the disadvantaged in America. If you were black, if you were poor, if you were a woman, if you were gay, if you were disabled in America, Kennedy was your man. And there were not many like that.
And that's very much the case of presumably why he's got such love and support from across all party support, of course, there in the United States. Sorry, go on.
Well, he was a very effective negotiator, as I'm sure has come out time and again. He was very good at negotiating. He had his eye on the ball. He wanted to get stuff done, and he got an enormous amount done in his life, which spanned 45 years as a key legislator. He got a lot done.
Yeah, was he a frustrated man, though, because he didn't get to the White House? He didn't get to be president?
Well, I did not sense that in him. I sensed that, here is the lesson I learned from Ted Kennedy, and I think it's an answer to your question. He always believed that all nations, not least the United States, was be improved, that there were always battles to fight. And even when you won a battle, someone would come along and try and take it away from you. So to Senator Kennedy, as I saw him, life, legislative life, political life, was a constant battle. It didn't make him upset. It didn't make him emotionally unable to continue. It motivated him to battle even harder. I think he loved the fight. He would get angry. He didn't like to lose, but he loved the fight, and he won a lot of battles, odds against battles. In a time when the nation was not politically liberal, Senator Kennedy was there fighting indefatigably for what he believed in.
Former writer and friend for Ted Kennedy, Jeff Madrick, many thanks for being with us.
Thanks.